Hello, everybody. Let's start the fourth session on biodiversity and discuss all the questions on biodiversity which has been asked in the year 2023. Already, we have discussed all the questions on biodiversity which have been asked in the year 2024. So let's discuss the 2023 questions. The session has been delayed. Why? Because of the ongoing batch of environment which was launched on January 14th. But those who have not taken admission in that batch, we have a second batch on environment module. And in this module, we would be incorporating biotechnology also, which would be started on February 3rd. So you can directly contact me on this number 989-171-5769 to register for this batch. And as usual, I have told you that this batch would be in a comprehensive manner covering the environment subject for preliminary examinations and also for mains examination, as well as there would be a session on biotechnology also, so that would be incorporated in addition to environment. Now, and there would be daily test. We have discussed earlier also daily objective test based on what has been discussed in the class a day earlier, and also a comprehensive test after the module. So, and we'll try to cover up all the contemporary issues related to environment happening in the last 1.5 years. So that would be fruitful for clearing your preliminary examination. But let's not waste time and start the questions which have been asked previously in the year 2023, and also see similar questions like that and also new questions. So try to cover up all the biodiversity questions of 2023. Let's do that. Now let's see the first question. Now, the first question which has been asked in preliminary examination 2023 is: consider the following statement. Statement 1, marsupials are not naturally found in India. And second statement is what? Marsupials can only thrive in montane grassland with no predators. Which one of the following is correct with respect to the above statement? Now, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct as it is given in UPSC, but the correct option is what? That first statement, that is statement 1, is correct and second statement is false. Why? Because marsupials are not naturally found in India. Where they are found? They are endemic to Australia. They are endemic to North America. They are endemic to South America. And marsupials are what? Marsupials are pouched mammals. They are also called as pouched mammals. They give live birth. For example, kangaroos are marsupials. Koala is marsupial. So all these are examples of marsupial. So the correct option would be what? Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Why? Because marsupials can only thrive in montane grassland because it is present in arid and semi-arid conditions. Arid and semi. So that was previously asked in your examination, and I've given you the explanation. That's endemic in Australia, North America, South America, pouched mammals. They can give live birth, kangaroo, koala. But the largest living marsupial, if they ask you, anyhow, is red kangaroo. That's the largest living marsupial. Let's see a similar question like this. Now, I've framed a question similar to this question. Consider the following statement. Koala is an endangered species in Australia. One main reason for their declining numbers is the bushfires of Australia. Koala sleeps for less than 6 hours, and chlamydia is a sexually transmitted disease among koala. Now, the first statement is correct because the government of Australia declared, and according to IUCN also, is nothing but endangered. One main reason for the diminishing number is loss of habitat also. Bushfire is also another reason. So this would be also correct. But koala sleeps for less than 6 hours is incorrect. Why? Because this is an animal which has the longest sleep. Any animal which sleeps maximum, longest sleep is Kaula. It can sleep up till 18 hours a day. And why? The reason is that it feeds on what? It feeds on eucalyptus leaves. And these eucalyptus leaves are very low in nutrients, because of which it sleeps for a longer period of time. Longer period of time. And definitely chlamydia is a sexually transmitted disease among the kaula. And this is responsible for blindness. It damages the reproductive tract of some kaula. So statement 1, 2, 4 would be correct. So how many of the above mentioned statements are correct? Correct option would be 3. Only 3. Because the third statement is incorrect. And do remember the thing that the animal which has the maximum sleep, longest sleep, is nothing but kaula, and the reason has been provided to you. It's a very interesting question as such, which can be asked in your examination. And that's why I have written everything on the board also. 18 hours a day, loss of habitat, everything which I have discussed has been depicted. You can take a screenshot of that also. Arboreal means it mainly lives on the trees. And it's a type of marsupial we have discussed. Let's see the next question, PYQ of 2023. And they have given you, consider the following fauna: lion-tailed macaw, Malabar civet, and sambar deer. How many of the above are generally nocturnal? Nocturnal means what? Diurnal means that they are active during the daytime. Nocturnal means that they are generally active during the night time. So the first option is what? This is diurnal. But the second and the third are nocturnal. Second and the third are nocturnal. How many of the generally nocturnal? So you can see not all 3, but only 2. And as far as lion-tailed macaw is concerned, lion-tailed macaw is also called as wanderoo. It's an old wild monkey, and this can be seen, it's endemic in where? Endemic in Western Ghats, can be seen in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, but maximum of it is present where? Karnataka. And IUCN status is what? Endangered. So it is present in the rainforest, fragmented small rainforest of Western Ghat, and it can be seen in Silent Valley National Park in Kerala. And similarly, Malabar civet is also called as spotted civet, is endemic to Western Ghat, as critically endangered according to IUCN. Both these animals, whether lion-tailed macaw or Malabar civet, both of these are easily visible in the Silent Valley National Park of Kerala. That's why I mentioned here. So these types of questions are asked to you. And as far as summer deer is concerned, summer deer, remember that's the largest deer found in India. Largest deer found in India. And it's found in Indian subcontinent, South China, and also Southeast Asia. It's vulnerable. And it can be seen in Kanha, Corbett, Ranthambore, Sarishka, many other national parks it can be seen. But do remember the thing, that's the largest deer species in India. It's not Hangul, it's the sambar deer. Now, let's see next question. Now see, I have framed a similar question like this, talking about the deers only. Consider the following statements. Among the musk deer, musk gland is found only in adult males and not in females. The Indian gazelle is also called as the Indian antelope, and the black buck is also called as shinkara. Now you have to select how many of the above mentioned statements are correct. Now the first statement is definitely correct, because the musk deer, musk gland is only found in adult males, not found in females. And where are musk deer found? Musk deer are present in the alpine region of Himalayas. And the purpose is what? The musk gland secretion attracts mates. That's the main purpose of the musk gland. So that's about the musk deer. But the Indian gazelle is also called as Indian antelope is wrong. Statement is incorrect. And similarly, this statement is also incorrect because the black buck is called as the Indian antelope. And Indian gazelle is also called as Sinkara, just the reverse. So both these statements are second and third would be incorrect. So how many of the above mentioned statements are correct? Yes, only one C. And as far as, and do remember, they are asking question on these only. See the questions and you can relate it. Now, black bug, just remember the information about black bug, that it is also called as the Indian antelope. It's found in India, Nepal, it's threatened. And associated with black bug is the Bishnois, because they consider black bug as reincarnation of their spiritual guru, Jambeshwar. This can be asked in your examination, because much in the news with the Bishnoi society, very clear about the saving of the black bug. And you know why it is in the news. I don't want to clarify that. Shinkara is also called as the Indian gazelle. It can be seen in India, Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. It's visible in Rajasthan, northwest part of India, and central part of India. Bandhavgarh, Ranthambore, you can see the Shinkara. And do remember that Rajasthan state bird is what? The Great Indian Bustard. But state animals are two. One is camel and second is Singara. So Singara is also the state animal of Rajasthan. Now, that's a new question. Again, one new question. Which one of the following is the original habitat of Sangai deer? You know about swamp deer, you know about Sinkara, you know about the Indian antelope, black buck. Hangul we have discussed earlier in biodiversity session about the Hangul, where it is present in Jammu and Kashmir. So which one of the following is the original habitat of the Sangai deer? Now the original habitat of the Sangai deer is Kabul. Kabul Lamjao National Park, which is the only floating national park of India and is situated to the southern part of the Loktek Lake in Manipur. It's present as a subspecies of the Elds deer. It's endemic in which? Endemic in Manipur. So do remember that whenever a question on Sangai deer is asked, it is endemic in Manipur state of India. And it's very famous. Kabul Lamjao National Park is very famous for Sangai deers. Not only the floating national park of India, but also famous for Sangai deer. Let's see the next question. Now see, a very interesting question has been framed. It appears to be better than the questions asked by UPSC. Now swamp deer, Barasinga, red deer, Hangul, axis deer, Cheetal, Indian antelope, black buck, and Indian gazelle is Sinkara. And I have asked you how many of the above pairs are incorrectly matched. Now, the answer is none of them are incorrectly matched, because everything is correct. And do remember this list. Do remember that the swamp deer is called as Barasinga, and swamp deer is called as Barasinga. Why? Because it has more than 3 tines. Sometimes mature deers would be having tines with 10 to 14 tines. That's why it's called as Barasing. And sometimes it can have 20 tines. Red deer is also called as Hangul. We have discussed earlier. That's found where? It's found in Dachigam National Park, which is near Srinagar. Axis deer is called as Cheetal. Axis deer is also referred to by another name we have discussed, and that's called as spotted deer. Spotted deer. Just now we have discussed. Indian antelope is called as black buck. Indian gazelle is called as Sinkara. Clear? How many of the above pairs are incorrectly matched? None of them are incorrectly matched. Now see, in Prelims 2023, they have asked you a question. Which one of the following organisms perform waggle dance of their kin to indicate the direction of food and distance to a source of food? The correct answer is what? The correct answer is honeybee. Now these kind of questions which they ask you, I have drafted similar questions like this to enhance your knowledge so that you can attempt the questions which are asked, because these questions are found nowhere. Only on net you can go and search on. But as far as Wegel dance is concerned, Wegel dance is meant for the searching the direction of the food, distance to the source of food, quantity of food also. It's a round dance, and the dancer also carries the smell of pollen grains and nectar. So that's the purpose of Wegel dance. And I have depicted all the purpose of Wegel dance. If they ask you for what purpose Wegel dance is performed, do remember this. Now see a similar question like this. I have framed a question on, that's a similar question which has not been asked in your examination, at a very much similar question. Red ants are also called as weaver ant. Queen red ants have wings but males do not have. Male ants usually die after mating, and like spiders, red ants first liquefy solid food and then eat it. Now, how many of the above mentioned statement are correct? The first statement is definitely correct, because red ants are also called as weaver ant. Second statement, queen red ants have wings but male do not have. Definitely this is incorrect, because males also have wings. And after mating, the queen red ant sheds her wings. So that's incorrect. Male ants usually die after mating. That's true. And like spiders, red ants first liquefy solid food and then eat it. That's also true. So the correct option is what? The correct option is only 3. Clear? So statement 2 is incorrect, and told you why it is incorrect, because male ants also have wings. Now, see a PYQ of preliminary examination 2023. Consider the following statements regarding the Indian squirrels. They build nest by making burrows in the ground. They store their food material like nuts and seeds in the ground. They are omnivorous. How many of the above mentioned statements are correct? See, the first statement is incorrect. Why? Because they store their foodstuffs, that's nuts and seeds, in the ground, but they do not make nest in the ground. They make holes in the ground, they store it, but they make nest where? They make nest on the tree trunk, on the branches of the tree, electricity box. These are the areas, regions, electricity boxes, where they make their nest. They store their food material like nuts and seeds in the ground. That's true. They do it. But for that purpose, they are not making nest. And they are omnivorous. Yes, they eat not only nuts and seeds, but they also consume what? They also consume egg yolks, chicks, etc. So, how many of the above mentioned statements are correct? That's your only 2, because first statement is incorrect. They have asked you this question. Similarly, see, I have drafted another question for you. Consider the following statement. Most snakes do not make their own burrows but inhabit the burrows made by other creatures. Snakes also inhabit termite mounds. Snakes like sand boas and seal make their own burrows. How many of the above mentioned statements are correct? See, first statement is definitely correct. Nothing wrong with this. This is also correct. And third is also correct. Because they do not make their own burrows, but inhabit the burrows made by other creatures. They also are found in the termite mounds. And these are the snakes, remember their name, which make their own burrows. So all the 3 statements are correct. Just remember this fact. Let's see another question. Which one of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrap insect from a hole in the tree or by a wood log? That has been asked in your preliminary examination 2023. The correct answer is what? Orangutan. Orangutan. And as far as orangutan is concerned, just remember the facts about the orangutan. They are great apes native. They are found in the rainforest of Indonesia, Malaysia, and they are mostly what? Arboreal. Arboreal means they live on the trees. And certainly they are critically endangered. But let's see what a interesting question I have framed for you. Which one of the following animals has two kinds of venoms? Two kinds of venoms. Vampire bats, scorpio, king cobra, hooded pitui. The correct answer is what? Scorpio. There are two types of venoms. First is called as prevenom. The purpose is of prevenom is what? To stun the prey. And second is the main venom. Prevenom is what? It's a very clear liquid. But this is what? This is a milky emulsion. And this is the main venom which goes inside its prey. So there are two kinds of venom. That's scorpio, and that scorpio is the only animal which has, not king cobra, is the only animal which has two kinds of venom. And if you join the environment module starting second batch, which is starting from February 3rd, you would be more and more benefited. But this session would continue for all those who have subscribed to this channel. Thank you very much. And this session would go on. We would be shortly starting a session, I think, on the first week of February of current affairs. So we'll make a roundup of all developments in the form of questions which will be released shortly from first week. Let's manage time because there are many things happening simultaneously. Thank you so much.